Hi and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to show you how to draw pipe over pipe, and basically this is what we're going to recreate right here. You're going to see we're coming in with a pipe that's at 8 feet in elevation. It's going to rise up a couple feet here to get up to 10 feet. We'll have an outlet coming off this way, and then we'll continue up to the 20-foot elevation. That's this pipe here. We're going to run over. We'll come across here, and then we'll also have a riser nipple for a branch line that's going to rise up, run over the pipe, and in the event that this pipe was pitched to match the slope, we have this swing joint here. So again, we're going to have pipe over pipe in this situation here. So this video is going to show you how to set that up. Now I'm going to drop it back down to 2D, and I'll just remind you again that because we're drawing in AutoCAD, we're drawing everything in 2D, and we have to kind of manipulate things to get it to make our 3D model so that you can present it in BIM. There are some scenarios where it's no problem. We can pretty much just draw what we want to draw, and we can have pipe over pipe, and that works fine. There are going to be other situations where you can't really draw pipe over pipe, and you'll see here that we've kind of had to tweak it a little bit, where we rotated one pipe 2 degrees to get it to make it look like it was pipe over pipe, but in reality it isn't. So I'm going to make sure that I show you how to do all of that. Right here we have everything set up, 10-foot length, 4-foot length that goes to here, and that comes over here to our 7 feet. We're going to continue up 10 feet, cut over 4 feet, and then continue over 4 feet here. So let me show you what we had to do, or what I had to do to get this to work properly. Now, first off, one thing that we can't do is, in a case like this where we have the two mains sitting right on top of each other, it just won't work. You can't do that. So what we have to do is we have to rotate. Usually always want to pick the shorter of the two pipes. You want to rotate it a minimum of 2 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my rotate command. I'll select this pipe only. So you can see here that our 4-foot pipe is selected. I'm going to type in RO for rotate. I'm going to select this corner as my base point, and I'll tell it to rotate a -2 degrees. So now it's rotated 2 degrees. Now you'll see here that the problem is the endpoint of our 7-foot length is no longer touching the endpoint of our 4-foot length. So I'll just delete that. So what I'm going to do here is I'll move that endpoint so that it now lines up. So instead of this being a 90-degree elbow, it's going to be a 92-degree elbow. No problem, don't worry about it. The program will recognize that you are trying to draw a regular 90-degree elbow. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to size these two pipes again, because again the insertion points of our pipe dimensions were not on the midpoints of the pipe anymore. So let's resize these two pipes. And this one has no problem. It's back on the midpoint of this pipe. This one we're going to have a problem because we really want that to be 7 feet long, as you can see over here. So here's what we're going to do to trick it. We're going to type in the CL command, change length. We're going to add a an inch and a half to this length, or we can just change the value to 7 feet right off the bat. So we'll just tell it this pipe length is going to be 7 feet long. And there we go. So now that pipe will be listed and calculated as if it's 7 feet long. So that takes care of the little offset that we lost here because we had to rotate this pipe. So that takes care of that. Let's insert a couple elevation markers. So I'll type in AFF. I'll tell it one pipe is at 8 feet. I'll insert my AFF right here. I'll insert another one at 10 feet over here. And finally a third one at 20 feet over here. And with that done, now it will know what the different elevations of the pipe are. So this pipe running all the way down to this point here will be 20 feet long. This pipe here, 20 feet in elevation. This pipe will be 10 feet in elevation. And this pipe will be as 8 feet in elevation. So I'm going to insert a stacked riser nipple right now. So if you go to the ribbon, you can select this option here for stacked riser nipples, or type in SRN to get this command to go. This will load up this dialog window, and because I have elevated the 8-foot, the 10-foot, and the 20-foot, I'm going to make sure that all of these riser nipple lengths are set to computer generated. I don't have to preset them. I'll get the computer to figure it out for us. So we're telling it's going to go up from 8 feet up to the higher elevations. Don't worry about first pipe left or right. This is a holdover to some old code that we had, but it's still in here. So ignore that. And I'll click Insert 1. The command prompt will ask me to pick a pipe. It can be any one of the 3 pipes at this intersection here. So I'll select this pipe here because it's easier to grab. So I'll pick right here. Then it'll ask me to select the highest pipe. So this is the highest pipe here because this one will be at 20 feet. So I'll select any part of this pipe. It doesn't have to be closer to the endpoint. We just have to pick anywhere on this pipe. The next command says select the middle pipe. So I'll select my 4-foot long pipe here, right there. After we do that, we will see that it places 2 riser nipples on top of each other. There is a slight angle difference right here. You can kind of see that if I was to draw a line that went from, let's say from here, to here, you could see that this lines up, but then when it gets to here, it doesn't line up with the edge of this red circle right here. So we can see that one of them is rotated 2 degrees and the other one is rotated whatever the normal value is. So that's how you can kind of tell which one is for which. I'm going to just move the text out of the way so I can grab this and put that over here, grab this text and move it over here. But there we go. We have now elevated the 2 riser nipples. Okay. Now I want to do a quick test here, and I want to raise it to 3D and just see what we get when we do this. So I will S3D and let's see what happens. Let's just verify that it gave us our stacked riser nipple here. So again, for all intents and purposes, this pretty much, even though this is rotated by 2 degrees, it's going to give you what it's going to look close enough to what you want. And again, I believe a 2-degree angle is the minimum that you need to rotate it. Less than 2 degrees has problems. So there we go. We're all set for this part. The next thing we have to do is we want to put a little swing joint on this. So I'm going to drop it back down to 2D. So show 2D. And here's how I need to get this to have the pipe come up and draw over. So I'm going to first draw another branch line that comes over, let's call it 9 inches. So it's going to be back to back 9 inches. And let's just move this to the front. So draw order, bring to the front. So now we can tell that this yellow pipe is on top of the white pipe here. Now we had these 2 white pipes ending at that intersection. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to just grab both of these and move them over to this endpoint right here. And there we go. So now this pipe ends, it's going to be 4'9", and this pipe should be 3'3". Now, if you've already sized the pipe, you can either erase these 2 and reinsert them, or another command I like to use is the update pipe length command, UPL. And I can select this, I can select this, hit enter, and it fixes these lengths. And not only that, it leaves the text in the midpoint of that pipe, or where it was before, but it then takes the grip of the pipe dimension and moves it to the midpoint of the pipe. So you can see here's the midpoint of the pipe, and here's the grip moved to the middle of the pipe again. So now we're all set. So that's good to go. All right, let's size this pipe as 1.5 inches. There we go. I can use MVA to move this pipe dimension off. So I'll move it up to here, and if I select it, you can see this grip remains on the midpoint of the pipe for that pipe dimension. So that's the other command that we can use there to clean that up. Finally, I want to place a riser nipple on this. So I'm going to go to my riser nipple setup, and I'm going to tell it that we have, let's just say, I didn't elevate the yellow pipe, so we'll just have it manually go up 6 inches. So I'll have it go 6 inches. It's a RN because it's an outlet off the white pipe. The diameter is 1.5 inches. I'll click OK, and I'll place the riser nipple right there. Now it places it in there, but I can already see a problem with it. Number one, even without seeing the red circle here, I can see that this outlet position is facing the wrong way. It's facing to the east, when in fact this opening of the riser nipple should be facing to the west, because it should fall in line with this pipe here. Now I can notice that, but also there's a warning here. So if I hover over this error message, it tells us it cannot set this vertical pipe's rotation. And that's because it said, hey, you know what? I normally can find one pipe in one direction, another pipe in another direction, a third pipe in a third direction. In this case, I have 2 pipes in the same direction. So I don't know which one to select. I'm going to leave it up to you to fix it. So That's what's happening here. We have a yellow pipe and a white pipe in the same direction, and because they both have the same rotation angle, it's going to not try to do anything with it. So it's up to you to fix it as the end user. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to now double click the riser nipple. And when I do that, I'm going to get the option to set a few things. I can verify, yes, it is for this riser nipple is for a branch line or a line here. The length is 6 inches. The diameter is 1.5 inches, but I'm going to rotate it or spin it so that it's at facing to the west. So I'll click the rotate button once, and there we go. Good enough. We're all set. So now this knows that look at the opening direction, look for a line, and that's the one I'm going to follow. So everything looks all set. I'm going to click apply, and there we go. So now it has rotated the riser nipple. Everything looks good. Let's raise to 3D. So S3D. And there we go. We already know that the stacked riser nipples worked fine, and here we go. We have pipe over pipe in this situation here. So I hope this video has helped shed some light on how to have or how to draw pipe over pipe. And if you have any questions, you can contact us. Our email address is support@hydrocad.com. Thank you for watching this video.